Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Teacher News, Dr. Joe's reading and writing class. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 78 in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 78 in the chat? Let me switch my microphone to computer mic. Is it a little bit clearer now?
It's good.
Okay, good. Okay, let's get started. Sorry, iPhone. Is that Jeffrey?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm just using
Okay.
my iPhone today because I tried my iPad before in a Dr. Joe class and it didn't really work. My
Oh,
audio, so
oh, that's weird. A lot of my students use their iPads. Um, okay, let's get into it. Actually, it's funny, Jeffrey, that you're here because you weren't here a couple weeks. The article I was going to choose today was a little bit political, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to get Jeff riled up. Let me I'll pick a different one. Okay. The book of the day. Can we get Xiaoya, can you read this
I'll
one?
do it.
Oh, never mind. Jeffrey, go for it.
In one of the most important and beloved Latin American works of the 20th century, Isabel Allende weaves a luminous tapestry of three generations of the Truba family, revealing both triumphs and tragedies. Here's the patriarch Esteban, whose wild desires and political machinations are tempered only by his love of his ethereal wife Clara, a woman touched by an otherworldly hand. Their daughter Blanca, whose forbidden love for a man Esteban who has deemed unworthy infuriates her father, yet will produce his greatest joy, his granddaughter Alba, a beautiful, ambitious girl who will lead the family and their country into a revolutionary future. The House of the Two Spirits is an enthralling saga that spans decades and lives, twinning the personal and the political into an epic novel of love, magic, and fate.
Awesome. Thanks for reading that, Jeffrey. So I can't speak much on this book because I have not read it myself, but it is interesting that it is a very, very successful book and highly rated for people in your grade level. But what's interesting is it is Latin American, so I believe it was written in Spanish and then it was translated. And just a quick question. What do you guys think? Do you think the translator should be, um, is it true I went to Columbia University? Why would you ask that? That's it's
Because I
random.
found information on Dr. Joe's like thingy on the.
Same. I know where you go for college, and I know what you majored.
What? Send me, send the link in the chat. I'm curious. Okay,
Just
secondly.
search up Dr. Joe Academy and then teachers, and then there's information about you.
Yeah, every single one has information.
Oh wow, I knew that there was a website. I actually haven't been on there in a very long time. Okay, so anyways, let's back to my question. What do you guys think? Do you think the translator is important in a book? Like, let's say this book over here, written by Isabel Allende. Do you think the translator should be on the cover of the book as well? Do you think the translator holds that much power? Put a one in the chat if you think the translator is super, super important, deserves to be on the cover as well. Put a two if you disagree. Okay, wow. All of you guys believe the translator should be on the cover. Can I have one of you explain why you believe it's so important? Dick. Oh, hands, never mind. Okay, Javier.
Because if they didn't have a translator, then like only the people who lived in like that specific country would like only know it. But then if you like translate it, so, like other people around the world could like read it and it'd be like super duper popular just because of that translator.
Okay. I like your answer. Now for next person, um, can now consider that there are translating, like you can Google Translate automatically, right? So with that being said, uh, is it still super important to put the translator on the cover of the book?
But like Google Translate would translate it word for word, and sometimes idioms in other languages translate into really weird things in English.
That is true. That is true. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I agree that the translator is super important. Now, I only asked should it be on the cover of the book because oftentimes you will see the cover of the book include the translator, um, because they're seen as super important because not only are they translating, they're also trying to capture the message, right? There's a lot of things I'm sure you guys know, if you speak another language, that there's a lot of things that you can say in another language that is really hard to convey in by just translating, right? You can't just translate the words directly. There's a lot of meaning and connotations associated with that. Um, so it is so yeah, so the translator has to actually capture the main essence of the book and the main essence of the story and also make some assumptions and things of that nature while they translate. So I think they're pretty important as well. Okay. Isabel Allende. I couldn't find a good picture of just her without a quote. I didn't want to start cropping out pictures, so I just left it like this. Can I get a volunteer reader? Okay, how about Derek? Derek, can you read this one?
Isabel Allende, born August 2nd, 1942, is a Chilean American writer known for her novels that blend magical realism with historical and political themes. Born in Lima, Peru, to Chilean parents, she later moved to Chile, where she worked as a journalist. Following the 1973 military coup in Chile, she went into exile in Venezuela, where she began writing her first novel, The House of Spirits, which became an international bestseller. Allende's work often explored themes of love, family, and social justice, drawing inspiration from her personal experiences in Latin American history. Some of her other notable novels include Eveluna, Paula, and A Long Petal of the Sea. She has received numerous literary awards and is regarded as one of the most influential Latin American writers. Now based in the U.S., she continues to write and advocate for human rights.
Awesome. Thanks for reading that, Derek. And yeah, the whole military coup in Chile, exile in Venezuela, um, and then now moving to the US. Very how to say, sort of, I don't want to say adventurous because it's obviously she's not moving because she wants to. Tumultuous, let's say, journey. Okay. Quote of the day. Words are not that important when you recognize intentions. Now, it's very brief, but I want you to explain this quote. Do you agree? Yes or no? And explain that. We have 4 students today, so I can maybe drop this down to 4 sentences just so that
Can you
we're
put the
not.
quote in the chat?
Yes, good reminder. Someone has their hand up. Javia?
I know what it's about. The thing is that I don't know how to what like I don't know how to explain it. It's just that I know what it's about. I know like the meaning, but I don't know like the true meaning of it.
Well, that is why we're having this, right? You got to strengthen or exercise your English muscles and try and figure out how to word it. And obviously that's the hardest part, right? But it's okay, try your best, and then at the end we'll discuss. You can just verbally tell me what you were trying to say, and then maybe we can make some tweaks. All right, I'm starting the timer now.
I don't get the quote.
Sorry, I also see that Jeffrey, your hand is up.
Yeah, I have a question. What was the article gonna be?
Well, okay, I'll get to Xiaoya. Xiaoya, I'll address you not understanding in a bit. Um, Jeffrey, the article was about how the rise of eradicated diseases because of the whole anti-vax movement, but the article itself had a lot of things about Democrats and Republicans, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to rile anybody up. I'll just pick a different one. The topic wasn't political, but the actual content had a lot of sort of political it was a little bit political criticism, so I decided to avoid that. That's okay. Let's go, Brandon. Um, okay, so do we have time? Yes, we have about 25 seconds left. Okay, Shaya, you said you
I
don't
don't
understand.
understand the quote.
Okay,
I mean, I thought I understood it, but then I realized that when I typed it out, I realized that it wasn't really like a quote. It was just like a saying. Like it was like a really, really like you didn't need it in your life quote.
you did life code. Okay, okay, you know what? Let's go through the other ones, and then I'll ask you again at the end, and if you still are confused, then we'll talk more. Just so maybe we can see if somebody else here and can answer
But
your
after I
question.
see everybody else's, I think it's just telling us to not lie.
It's telling us to not lie. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's start with Jeffrey.
This is just very it kind of repeats itself, but whatever. Um, Words are not important when you don't recognize intentions. This quote means that words are not a useful tool if you don't actually mean or are going to do what you are saying. This is important because if you don't mean what you are saying, then your words have no value. For example, if you say you are going to pay someone but you do it, then there was no point in saying it.
But you don't. So there was no point in saying it. Words are not important when you recognize intentions. Fair. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair analysis. I think I agree. They're only useful if they mean what you're saying, right? So yeah, okay. Good stuff there, Jeffrey. Let's look at Russell's. Russell, would you like to read yours?
I think this quote is conveying that words themselves don't bring meaning. The intentions the intentions implied within them or why they were said is the part that should really be valued to get a deeper meaning.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, I think you cover a lot of this quote too. So I think this quote is conveying that words themselves don't bring meaning, the intentions. So to get a deeper meaning, the intentions implied within them or why they're said is the part. So I would say these are full independent sentences. So we could actually but they're very closely related. So I would say let's put a semicolon there. The intentions implied within them or why they were said is the part that should really be valid. Okay, so I would actually take out or and say and.
Acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
Said, not valued. Acknowledged.
Wow, this is the part that should really be valued to get a deeper meaning. So I think valued is a little bit of a confusing word here.
Acknowledged.
Oh, sorry, that's what you were saying. Oh, you're saying acknowledged. Okay, gotcha. To get a deeper meaning. Okay, cool. Why they were saying great. Yes, I think okay, so I think this quote means many different things. I think what Jeffrey said, yeah, if you're just gonna say words that don't mean anything, then they're not
This is
important.
oh wait, there's I typed it in the chat. It's just one sentence.
Okay. Okay. I'll put yours up
It's
too.
just one. I typed it in like 10 seconds because I just
Wow. This is amazing. This is this one sentence. I'm just gonna put a green here. Um and I like Russell's also, right? Words themselves, you can look up the dictionary definition of all the words and they might still not mean, when you put them together, they still might not mean what you are what the main message is, right? Intentions and why they were said are important.
This
Uh
links to the translator thing we were talking about. You can't just ask
yeah,
Google Translate. You have to ask ChatGPT or DeepSeek. DeepSeek's
or,
better.
or DeepSeek. Yeah. I still haven't used DeepSeek yet. I have to go.
DeepSeek is better.
apparently
It's
it's
free.
really laggy.
It'll get better.
Are
Um
you talking about the Zoom meeting or DeepSeek?
DeepSeek.
Oh, okay.
um okay, Derek, would you like to read yours?
The quote by Isabel Allende tells me that when someone's intentions or motives are clear, the words they say don't matter as much. For example, let's say someone was going to pull a prank on you, but you somehow got word of it. When they try to bait you into their trap, you know their intentions and their words now seem completely fake.
Awesome. Okay. Tells me that when someone's intentions or motives are clear. Oh, I really like this qualification that when their intentions or motives are clear, words don't matter. And I think this is um I think this would be the most direct interpretation of her quote. So awesome, great job, Derek. For example, let's say someone was going to pull a prank on you, but you somehow got word of it. When they tried to bait you into their trap, you know their intentions and their words now seem completely fake. Awesome. Wow, great example too. This is actually phenomenal, Derek. Awesome. Okay, so it's able to fit everyone's response on one page. That's awesome. Okay, I'm having a harder and harder time trying to find words that you guys have not seen before. So these are pretty tough. So tough. I'm gonna have to double check. I looked up all the pronunciations before, but I'm not 100% sure I can remember them all carefully. So who would like to read these? Who wants to challenge themselves? Okay. Okay, Derek. I mean, sorry, not Derek. Jeffrey, go for it.
Oh no, I'm scared. Okay. Oh my. Uh, Who animus? Who's what is
Okay, this one
lamb?
is pusillanimous.
Who's why was I like pronunciating that like it was French, bro? Adjective. Showing a lack of courage or determination, cowardly. The pusillanimous soldier fled the field at the first sign of danger. Uxor uxorious
Ex
is it correct?
ex
Uxorious.
exorius, yeah.
Okay. Adjective. Excessively devoted to one's wife. His uxorious behavior was evident in the way that he constantly doted on his wife. Truth, truculent. Adjective. E- eager to fight or argue. His truculent attitude made it difficult for him to get along with his classmates. Untoward. Adjective. Unexpected and inappropriate. His untoward remarks at the dinner table made everyone uncomfortable. Gormless. Adjective. Lacking intelligence or common sense. His gormless response to the question made everyone doubt his knowledge on the topic.
Awesome. So doted is similar to adored, like the way he constantly, let's say, adored or idolized or treasured his wife. Um, this one was truculent, untoward, and gormless.
I know doted because doteful. I've heard of that.
Doteful. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually heard that in a
Should I
sentence.
try to write the entire thing in one sentence?
Who wants to do that? Jaya? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You can try it.
You try to do that.
You can try
That's
it.
my challenge.
Okay, Xiaoya, do that this time. Russell, I want a paragraph from you this time.
No.
Okay, okay, fine. You could do both of you know what? Everyone do this in one sentence.
Yes,
Make one
I have been practicing.
with the words.
Wait, so you just write a sentence using one of the words
All of them
in one
with,
sentence?
yep, try.
I already have an idea.
Okay, I'm gonna do,
Okay, can you put them in the chat though?
yes, I'm gonna
Thank
only
you.
give you guys 3 minutes for this.
I feel violated.
Okay, fine. We'll do 4 minutes, okay? We'll see. And you know what? Bonus points for the person who submits a correct sentence first. I'm curious how long this will take, guys. Okay, 4 minutes starting now. Curious if it's even possible to do this in 4 minutes. Derek asked why they're all adjectives. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was going through
I'm
lists
done.
of challenging words and just picked them randomly and then looked up the definitions. I was trying to pick words that I've seen before. I've seen all of these except Exorius before.
I've seen all of these except for the first one. I'm not
Crystal
even gonna
Islands.
try to pronounce that. I'm done.
Awesome.
But when I spelled it, it said it was wrong. The spelling check thing.
I cheated. I used two sentences and I only did four of the words because I ran out of ideas.
Okay. That is fine. Um,
Oh, me and Dahlia did the same number of words, 15 words.
how did you count that?
Guess what?
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 Never mind.
Okay. Wow. I am very glad
Wait, you
I
did describe Bob in like 10 words. Russell just described Bob in like half of his sentence.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Maybe we'll have to put restrictions next time I have this challenge. Because that is a little bit easy. We'll see. Okay, Russell, would you like to start?
Bob was
Exorius?
uxorious. Ux, uxorious? Ah,
It's actually it's weird. It's Exorius, like as if this was an E.
Bob was exorious but gormless and untoward, which made him truculent to his oh pusillanimous. 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 What is it?
Pusillanimous.
Pusillanimous wife.
Awesome. Was Exorius, but okay, so the only suggestion I would have here is use Exorius but gormless and untoward. If you're just going to use it, like use the but as a hinge, this and this have to sort of contradict Exorius. But you can be Exorius and also uh annoying and awful. So it's like you're gonna have to specify again what this is, right? So Bob was so I would say Bob was a gormless and untoward person. Um or sorry, Bob was Exorius, but he was a gormless and untoward person, which made him etc., right? So just like add more to clarify that this isn't, these two adjectives aren't necessarily directly contradicting Exorius. So let's put this in yellow. All right, Jaya, would you like to read yours?
George's untoward and exorious behavior to his gormless wife made the pusillanimous people before him suddenly truculent.
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 Untoward and exorious behavior. Exorious means devoted, like adoring. And so you and exorious behavior to his gormless wife made the pusillanimous people before him suddenly truculent, eager to argue. Pusillanimous or lack of courage. Okay. The only problem is exorius doesn't really make sense in this context. Maybe you could say even though George was generally exorius, his untoward behavior that day to his gormless wife made the etc. etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Derek, would you like to read yours?
When at work, his
Wait. His truculent, gormless, and pusillanimous behavior completely opposed his uxorious and untoward attitude at home.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so when at work, his truculent, gormless, and pusillanimous behavior completely opposed his exorious and untoward attitude at home. So untoward, unexpected, and inappropriate. Okay. Now that I'm rethinking it, untoward and exorious, unexpected towards his goal. Okay. Exorious behavior shouldn't really make people suddenly truculent, so it shouldn't get into a fight. So yes, but in this case, yes, all this behavior is generally opposed to is it opposed to untoward attitude, unexpected, inappropriate? Okay, so I would actually just throw untoward in this list of adjectives. Um, and it would suit this a bit better. Like inappropriate behavior, truculent, gormless, and pusillanimous behavior.
Wait, I put in
Opposed.
another one. Maybe this one's better.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so yeah, I would just throw untoward in here just to make it a little bit more clear and easy. Okay. Jeffrey.
Okay. Somehow I managed to make it about politics because you were trying to avoid that. Okay. I I love I love Trump's random, uh, untoward, pusillanimous, and gormless tweets on X. I also admire Trump trying to kiss Melania at his inauguration. Did you see the video where with Melania's hat?
Oh yeah, she looked like Michael Jackson about to bust
Yeah,
like a move.
and like Trump wasn't able to kiss her because her like hat was too big.
She looked like Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. I've seen conspiracy theories that that's not actually her. I kind of believe it. Um,
Wait, what?
well, not that specific video, but there are some times where they go out in public and the woman next to him is like, I really don't think it's his wife. Um, there are, well, I mean
What?
that during the inauguration it was, but sometimes I don't know. I mean, they're just conspiracy theories,
But I
but
feel
that,
like
Is Trump
Trump's like
cheating?
wife is way out of his league.
well, someone asked, is Trump cheating?
Facts.
He
Yes.
has cheated on like every single one of his wives, in
That's just
history.
messed
That's
up.
more facts.
It's like a new year, a new wife or something.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I love Trump's random untoward pusillanimous and gormless tweets. I also admire Trump trying to exoriously kiss Melania. Okay, so yes, this is great. Okay, next week, no one sentence. I like the paragraphs because I get more out of you guys and I get more.
No, but it's fun because you have to think more.
Okay, what do you guys think is more challenging? A succinct paragraph or
Sentence.
one sentence?
Oh, a
Sentence.
sentence is definitely
One
Sentence
sentence.
is definitely harder.
Sentence because it's harder to make it about politics to NYU.
Okay, but are you guys learning the words, how to use the words specifically? Because I feel like we end up grouping all the words together and we're not really getting the meaning out of each word.
No, we got it.
That sounds like someone who wants to get their way. Okay, we'll alternate each week. All
yeah,
right.
alternating each week. That's fair.
Okay. So, uh, the first and last weeks of the month will be paragraphs. Just so I don't forget.
Look what I wrote in the chat.
He wants us to work harder, not smarter. Yeah, you know what? I think by putting the paragraph, sometimes it's working harder and smarter. Okay. Okay, anyways, let's continue. Let's go on to Okay, so last week, for those who weren't here, we were talking about argumentation styles. So we talked about, I shouldn't have deleted the slide. I forgot. I think it was the Rogerian method. No, never mind. We're going to talk about the Rogerian method today. But there was forgot the name of the other method. It should be in your slides from last week. Anyways, we were talking about different methods of argumentation and oh, they're right here. We talked about the Tillman method last week. This week we'll address the Rogerian method. And all it is, you don't have to memorize these things. They're just different structures of argumentation, and some are better to use in some circumstances and some are better to use in other circumstances. But it's just to give you a nice template for argumentation. That's all it is, right? And persuasion. You don't have to use it in the future, but I just want you to have some exposure to it. Okay. Who would like to read this slide? Let's get Russell.
The Rogerian method, named for but not developed by influential American psychotherapist Carl R. Rogers, is a popular method for controversial issues. This strategy seeks to find a common ground between parties by making the audience understand the perspectives that stretch beyond or even run counter to the writer's position. More so than other methods, it places an emphasis on re-altering an opponent's argument to his or her satisfaction. The persuasive power of the Rogerian method lies in its ability to define the terms of the argument in such a way that your position seems like a reasonable compromise. You seem compassionate and empathetic. The basic format of the Rogerian method is as follows. Introduction. Introduce the issue to the audience, striving to remain as objective as possible. Opposing view. Explain the other side's position in an unbiased way. When you discuss the counter-argument without judgment, the opposing side can see how you do not directly dismiss perspectives which conflict with your stance. Statement of validity. Validity.
Yep.
Validity. Statement of validity. Understanding. This section discusses how you acknowledge how the other side's points can be valid under certain circumstances. You identify how and why their perspective makes sense in a specific context, but still present your own argument. Statement of your position. By this point, you have demonstrated that you understand the other side's viewpoint. In this section, you explain your own stance. Statement of context. Explore scenarios in which your position has merit. When you explain how your argument is most appropriate for certain contexts, the reader can recognize that you acknowledge the multiple ways to view the complex issue. Statement of benefits. You should conclude by explaining to the opposing side why they would benefit from accepting your position by explaining the advantages of your argument. You close on a positive note without completely dismissing the other side's perspective.
Awesome. Okay. So, I mean, you guys will see next week also that the structures usually generally have the same things, right? Statement of validity, explanation, some sort of context, some sort of opposing view, but it's mainly the structure that changes across these. Okay, so quick little example here. Jeffrey, can you read this one? Jeffrey? Okay, let's get Derek.
Sorry.
Sorry, never mind.
My
Jeffrey?
audio wasn't working for a second. Okay. Introduction. The issue of whether children should wear school uniforms is subject to some debate. Opposing view. Some parents think that requiring children to wear uniform is best. Statement of validity. Understanding. Those parents who support uniform argue that when all students wear the same uniform, the students can develop a united sense of school pride and inclusiveness. The statement of position. Students should not be required to wear school uniforms. Mandatory uniforms would forbid choices that allow students to be creative and express themselves through clothing. Statement of context. However, even if uniforms might hypothetically promote inclusivity, in real life context, administrators can use uniform policies to enforce conformity. Students should not have the option to explore their identity through clothing without the fear of being ostracized. Statement of benefits. Through both sides seek to promote students' best interests, students should not be required to wear school uniforms. By giving students freedom over their choice, students can explore self-identity by choosing how to present themselves to their peers.
Awesome. So, okay, there's something going on in the chat. Anyways, I really like this method of argumentation, especially in debates or live debates or whatnot, because you're starting off with trying to understand the opposing view, right? And let's say you're having a real debate or argument and you start here. Firstly, they're going to listen to you more. Secondly, if you get something wrong, they will correct you right here before you even get to your main point. So no matter what they say, you're going to basically summarize and gather all their points in this first bit, right? Then you state your position and how and why your position is still better, considering all of the things you mentioned here, um, in mainly in the statement of validity, right? In understanding why someone would think the way they think. Um, Now you've given how your position is still more important or still better or whatnot. And then also explain why, like expand on why it's better, right? And then this is still addressing why you think that and why yours is still better or still good, right? Um, this is a great debate style. Now, does anyone know um does anyone know where this could go wrong? Like this style of argument. Anybody? Anybody? Like if you're debating with someone and you start with their point of view, where could this go wrong? Jeffrey?
Like go wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it could make you kind of feel. It could make you look a little bit wishy-washy, especially on the statement of validity.
Okay, I see what
Maybe
you mean. Like if you
I thought it was like what makes this like position good? Because I have one for that.
okay, so this position we're already saying sort of accepting that this is a good
Oh
way
yeah,
to
no,
argue.
not the position. Sorry, like what makes this debate style good? I thought that was the question you were
Oh,
asking.
sorry. No, no. Like, yeah, let's just assume it's good. I mean, I wouldn't be showing it to you if it was bad most of the time, right? But Derek says not a lot of context, question mark. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you can't really explain the opposing point of view if you don't have a lot of context. Xiaoya?
It's like kind of confusing because all of a sudden you say, "Oh, I support like something," or all of a sudden you say you say like the opposing side, and people think that you're supporting the opposing side. It's just really confusing because you don't like explain which side you're on because you explain both sides of the like statement. It's a little confusing because they're like kind of like crossing both sides, but like you don't really like describe which side you're on, basically.
Okay. You're saying it could be confusing. Okay. And Jeffrey.
That was my hand raised from the last thing.
Oh, all right. You guys all bring up good points. And how this method could be sort of not the best if you don't have a lot of context and things like that. One reason or one way I see this debate style failing often is when someone uses it but strawmans their opponent, right? Does it anyone here know what strawmanning means? Okay. Strawmanning is when you basically take the opposing perspective, like you're addressing the opposing view, but you address it in a way where you undermine it. You don't actually address the strengths of it. You talk about it in a way that is intentionally weak, right? Um, and then you attack that opinion, right? And then when you attack a weak opinion, then obviously it makes your stance look good. But it's not fair to strawman your opposing arguments because it's sort of misleading, right? You're acting like that their point was weak when you address it, but what really happened was you just didn't address it properly, and you addressed sort of a weak point of it, or um, like maybe just completely ignored a lot of parts of it, and then you attacked it to make yourself look good. Um, so yeah, this This style is only strong when you make sure you really, really gather the strength or the strongest points of the opposing view, and then you address it, right? Because otherwise, it's just a cheap trick. Shall we?
Then why are they teaching us this if it's not even that good?
No, it is good. It is good as long as you do it properly. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. It is good as long as you really address the opposing point of view correctly, like really well.
What if? Never mind.
Like, for example, um, if I say, "Oh, um, I think students should not wear uniforms to school." Some people think that you should wear uniforms um, because uniforms are ugly, and that will teach kids to embrace their ugliness or something. And then you state why you think people should pick their own clothes and it'll make them feel good and make them look good or whatever. What I did was, I mean, okay, that was worse than a straw man because it wasn't even really anything.
Yeah, it was like that was weird. That was
But you
like an
get
extremely biased opinion.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, straw manning is where you're basically showing bias by not really tackling the strength of the opposing point of view, right? Um, and there's actually a word for the opposite of that, where you do a really good job at addressing the opposing point of view. It's called steel manning, because steel is stronger than strong. Anyways, okay, so last week I tried doing. Okay, what I want you guys to do is um very briefly, maybe in point form. Okay, wait. Actually, just in point form, I want you to recreate this style. So I'm gonna put this in the chat. Um,
Wait, so do we
oh,
like debate an issue using this style?
yes. So just very quickly, one sentence each point. Um, uh, sorry, make an argument. So
I have a question.
yes,
Can you like pull up like the example of like the originator method?
yes,
Like
yes.
that one. Oh no,
Okay.
like the one where it has like students should not wear uniforms, blah blah.
Yeah, this one's right here.
Oh, oopsies.
Okay, so yes, so just like this, just quick one sentence for each thing, right? So pick a topic. Last week we were talking about pineapple on pizza. So this week let's do what's a common debate?
Pineapple on pizza.
No, we can't do pineapple on pizza each time. Common debates topics
Oh, I
from high
have
school.
one.
I already started.
I have one.
Mine.
If ketchup is a smoothie.
Okay, sure.
I,
If
I
you
already,
don't
I already, I already started mine.
okay, yeah, if you have one, great. If you don't have one, do is ketchup a smoothie. Okay, starting the timer. I'm gonna do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes. 5 minutes starting now.
How long should it be?
Really short. I really just want to see maybe one sentence for each
Oh,
thing. You
okay.
could even combine opposing view and statement of ability, whatever. I just want to see the structure. Can I do it exactly like the example? Yes, you can. But don't choose the same debate topic. Don't do uniforms. I actually want you guys to do it exactly like this. You don't have to write like opposing view, statement of ability. You don't have to write that, but just the actual sentence should follow that structure. Okay, that was the time. Do we need more time? Like, how much more time?
I just need like 2 more minutes to just finish up my concluding statement.
Okay, let me add 2 minutes then. Starting now.
My topic was super serious.
All right. Let's see what we're working with here.
Mine is very repetitive.
Okay, Xiao, yeah, let's see yours.
Mine is really repetitive, so.
That's okay. Okay. I'm just gonna read through these quickly. The issue is ketchup a smoothie. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna edit these because that's gonna take too long, and this is mainly for the structure. The issue is ketchup a smoothie is a very controversial topic among people. No, it's not. It's not a smoothie. Some people think that ketchup isn't a smoothie because you put it onto foods, which is considered a condiment. But it is a smoothie because it uses fruits. You use a blender to blend it up and you put it in a bottle. All those steps just describe a smoothie. However, even if ketchup is considered a condiment, it still follows the same steps as a smoothie. Even though both sides have good arguments, the idea that ketchup is a smoothie is still more understandable because ketchup follows all the same rules for it. Okay,
What
so
if ketchup is a smoothie that's a condiment? Have you ever thought of that?
Ketchup is a smoothie.
okay. So
Actually, wait, no, I can't say that.
what were you gonna say?
Never mind. I can't just oppose my own like opinion.
So,
Okay,
um,
next for the classical method, I'm gonna do a cereal or soup.
okay, so everyone that thinks ketchup is a smoothie, put a 1 in the chat. Everyone that thinks ketchup is not a smoothie, put a 2 in the chat. Thank you, Derek, for being the only reasonable one here. Or thank you, Jeffrey. I don't know what to make of Russell's response, so we're just gonna ignore it. Um, okay, let's see. Jeffrey, would you like to read your response?
It would be funnier if you read it.
Okay, fine. why Brandon would be a great president. The people think that Brandon would be a bad president. Sorry, the people that think Brandon would be a bad president are stupid. I mean, look at how he eats his double chocolate chip ice cream. I've never seen that. Brandon would be great because he would let us chant, "Let's go, Brandon." I s- I still don't understand why this was so funny. Um, However, people think his age is a problem. That is dumb because remember, age is just a number. Also, this is reeking with tons of grammatical errors, okay? So don't everybody don't think I'm missing them.
That's okay. I put it together while laughing, so makes sense.
I can tell. The benefits of the Brandon presidency would be funny clips of him forgetting what he's saying, increased ice cream production, and more importantly, more Kami Harris. I've never heard Kami Harris. That's funny. Um, okay.
What is this?
This is what happens when Jeffrey watches a
Ad
lot of
campaign
political.
for our great and supreme leader Brandon.
This is like so opinion and no fact.
Yes, yes, indeed.
I would
Uh,
vote for him though because he eats double chocolate chip ice cream.
I'm gonna start a poll in the chat. Put a 1 if you would vote for him. Put a 2 if you wouldn't.
Who is Brandon?
I don't
he's
know. I
talking
put a
about
7 because I don't even know.
Brandon is a nickname for Joe Biden.
Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
This is a random guy who lived in
No,
like
it's not.
California.
It's
Huh?
not a random guy. Brandon, he's referring to Joe Biden.
Wait, since when?
Um, since there was someone mispronounced, like said his name wrong, and they said Brandon instead of Biden, and people thought that was hilarious, and they just kept saying, "Let's go, Brandon."
Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, yeah, but Biden was the youngest senator. Now he's the oldest president. Well, now he
No,
was
Trump is
the
now.
oldest
Trump will be the
president.
oldest.
Oh wow,
Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's true, that's true. But if Biden or what you call Brandon is elected again, which I don't think will happen, but
He's gonna forget that he was even president.
Yeah,
He was even running for
he
president.
physically can't run again.
wait, what? He can't?
Like he physically can't because like he's just really old and he has dementia, right?
We
Or
need a
Parkinson's.
100-year-old president.
I will do it. I will
Wait a
wait till
minute.
I'm 100.
Is let's
Yeah.
go Brandon like a
No,
good thing or is it a bad thing?
It's
it's a
kind of
great
making
thing.
fun
It's a
of
great thing.
it's making fun of Biden.
No, it's a
Oh,
great thing. No, we love Brandon. We love Brandon.
Yeah.
Here at the Republican Party, we love Brandon.
That was clever. That was clever, Jeffrey. Okay, Russell, would you like to read? Or I'll read yours really quickly. The age-old debate of whether the chicken or the egg came first has fascinated minds for centuries. Those who argue that the egg came first, suggest that life evolved gradually, with the egg being the starting point for all species, including the chicken. The argument is proposing that genetic mutations in eggs over generations led to the development of the chicken. However, believes the chicken came first. We, however, believe the chicken first, as it is the chicken that lays the egg, and any new mutations would have occurred within the chicken itself. By supporting the chicken first perspective, we highlight the importance of direct genetic continuity, whereas the egg first
We're
stands alone.
studying genetics right now in our EL lessons.
Okay,
So
that's very interesting because, I mean, if I had to gamble, I would say the egg came first because there were eggs before there were chickens from species before. And couldn't you have a mutation in
The egg obviously came before the chicken. Dinosaurs.
yeah, but I guess he's talking about specifically with the species of chicken. Like,
talking about the modern chicken.
yes, the modern chicken. I feel like though that mutations would have happened in the egg because the first chicken would have been from okay,
Or maybe someone from the future time traveled to the past and then put nuclear radiation next to the dinosaur egg,
that's true.
which caused the chicken to be the modern chicken.
Okay, that's fair. That's the only way I could see that. being true. But yeah. Also, by the way, you don't need radiation for mutations. We have evolved as humans in like the past. There are species
Yeah,
of
but it
humans.
takes a long time.
It does take a long time, yes.
You could use genetic mutations like biogenetics. You can put the poor chicken egg in a chamber and seduce it to harmful amounts
seduce
of
it. Yep.
radiation.
Yep. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Derek says climate change is frequently debated on whether or not it is important enough to turn our attention to. Opposing views, some say that climate change isn't having any disastrous effects on our current society. These people say that the only thing changing the worldwide temperature is, sorry, these people say that the only thing changing is the worldwide temperature increasing slightly. Statement of position. Climate change will turn into a larger enemy before we know it. Many of its effects will change our current state and make it harder and more expensive to fix later on. The climate warms up, so crops will die, leading to more inflation. As tides rise, smaller islands will sink to the sea, destroying homes and also polluting the ocean with the remains of the island. In addition, the carbon dioxide that forms climate change can give people asthma and other lung disease. Yes, this is very true. Thank you for having this there, posting this, Derek. People don't understand that the effects of climate change are already present. The drastic effects of climate change are already present right now. There are increased rates of genetic diseases in areas closer to the equator directly due to this. There are, rates of autism, things like that have been increasing in those areas, asthma, all those things. Uh, Fish species are dying out already. So
This
yeah,
Earth is smoking.
the Earth is smoking.
Yeah, bad for Earth's lungs.
In a way, I guess, yeah, in a way.
Last year,
You
last
need
year's winter was like not even winter. It was like spring.
Yep, yep.
no, but this year
Spring
we
at
had.
its finest.
But this year for us we had snow.
This year for us it's snow. This year's like winter is like a lot colder than last year. Last year, like was like 50 degrees every single day for winter.
I love climate change.
It was
We
like
had
climate change
what?
at its finest.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
who wants to go out in negative 20-degree weather? I would way rather have a 50-degree winter. Okay, like like for real. I'm
oh,
gonna be honest. Climate change ain't even that big of a deal.
okay. Firstly, disagree. Secondly, sorry, I forgot to read Derek's statement of benefits. By helping fix the environment, you will be able to afford your weekly groceries easier. Also, your risk of becoming sick will significantly decrease. Completely agree. Jaya,
Jeffrey doesn't like Earth.
Jeffrey hates on Earth. Yes.
He hates Earth. He doesn't want to do anything about it.
No, I just want like Earth to get toxic so that we can deport Trump to the moon.
What?
What? Okay, anyways, article of the day. Are highly structured classes better for learning? Educators and parents and district officials are divided over a new strict schooling model in Houston. Would this kind of approach work for you? Derek, can you read this slide?
Imagine you were to go to a school where every task in class was timed down to the second, where you were expected to comply with strict behavior rules, and where all your teachers closely followed this strict approved curriculum. Does this sound anything like the school you go to now, or one you have attended, or is it radically different from what you're used to? Do you think this kind of schooling model would work for you? Why or why not? It is micromanaging classes a recipe for school success. Troy Closen and J. David Goodman write about how a new superintendent in Houston is trying to improve its public schools through strictly structured teaching like this. But the model has been deeply polarizing. The Houston public school classroom might have looked like any other, if not for an unusual feature on the whiteboard, a countdown timer. The teacher leading the English lesson allowed her fourth graders sec- fourth graders 10 more seconds to log in for tech problems. Then she asked the class to read a passage to determine the author's motivations, set the timer to 1 minute, and called out at the 25 and 15-second marks. Students took 30 seconds to share answers with a partner before their daily 10-minute quiz.
Awesome. Okay.
That's
Micromanage
crazy.
class.
That's crazy. Imagine being like, okay, we're gonna go to the bathroom. You have 2 minutes. If you don't come back, we're finding you.
I mean, it happens in some classes.
And then they're also like, okay, if you're gonna get at your pencil, you have 1 second. If you miss that mark, you're never using a pencil ever again.
Okay.
And
Let's
then you're
continue.
like sweating because they're like, okay, you have 10 minutes to finish this quiz. If you don't finish it, you automatically fail this entire grade. Like,
Okay. Shia, can you read yours? Sorry, not yours. Can you read this slide?
oh, sorry, I was muted. The regimented structure is part of a strict new schooling model that nearly half of the 274 schools in the Houston Independent School District have adopted. Educators are required to adhere closely to the curriculum. District officials visit schools several times a week to observe classes and ensure that teachers are following the new protocols. Strict behavior policies are enforced. At one point, students were required sometimes to carry orange traffic cones to the bathroom instead of traditional hall passes, as part of an effort to prevent disorder. These ideas are not all new, but the scale, pace, and force of change in Houston stands among the starkest in modern American education. That is so strict and so over the top.
Yep. Um, it is strict. But yeah, you know what? Let's finish it and then we'll discuss. Okay, Russell, can you read this one?
Halfway through the second school year that the new model has been in use, officials argue that it is paying off. The number of schools in Houston that were rated D or F by the state dropped to 41 from 121. Math and reading scores on state standardized tests have risen. The overall gains were largest single-year growth in the district's history, district officials said. The Houston schools did not make overall gains in reading last year on a federal exam that is considered the gold standard, but it did avoid the national slide in achievement in the subject. Still, the overhaul has also been deeply polarizing, infuriating many people in the district, where more than so pers- what? Where more 80. I thought that was an S. Where more than 80% of the students are Black or Hispanic. A fierce movement of parents and teachers argue that the new model's emphasis on test preparation damages students' desire to learn. They have been criticized the removal of novels from English lessons and have complained that the closure of libraries is disadvantaged students. The article quotes a parent. "This is not an education," said Liz Silva, whose third grade son attends an arts magnet school in Houston under the new model. "My kid's miserable."
Awesome. I think there are benefits to some of this stuff for sure, but I think I've also heard a lot of parents say they wish schools would just go back to just teaching, English, math, science, just school, nothing about life, nothing, whatever. And generally speaking, those parents have never taught anything and need to understand that no matter what you're doing, teaching, whatever, you need to make it interesting, applicable, whatnot. You need to make sure the students are engaged, right? So everything is an important part of school, and it's important, your community. You need to have people who are generally knowledgeable in things, not just they can answer a math question. or can fix an essay. Shia?
But like what? But like, why would they like close like the school libraries? Like they want them to be better. Like they want them to like learn more. But like again, then again, they're like not
Because
letting them
everything's timed to
finish.
the second. So like you can't just go to the library for like about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything's timed to the second. You do this, that, like maybe like you get 15 seconds to go somewhere. Transition to one class.
Yeah, because it's just like, because like, why are they getting rid of the not of like English? Like, they shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Um,
It's just,
I'm not too sure the specific reason, but yeah, maybe what Russell
it's
said.
like not ethical.
Good thing I don't live there.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston, yeah, Texas, yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see which one we should choose, 'cause we can
Can we
only do
do a
one.
discussion?
No, we did a discussion last time, and if we
Wait,
had more
what?
time, if
I
we,
wasn't here last time.
I'm so sorry. We need
Uh,
we need to prioritize the writing and then the
what was the
discussion.
discussion about?
I forgot actually. Okay, let's do this one. What are your thoughts on the school district's new strict schooling model? Are there parts of it that you think might be helpful and effective? Are there parts of it that you might be harmful or ineffective? So I want you to answer both of these and give an example, maybe. Okay, so I'm only
Put it in
gonna
the
give,
chat.
yeah, put it in the chat. I mean, we won't have much time, so I'm only gonna give you guys like 3 minutes for this. Starting the timer
Like
now.
a short paragraph?
Yeah, very short.
Okay. The class where we had like does your student like have enough like authority or something? Like it was something about like
Yep, yep.
owning your learning. This,
Mhm.
this is the opposite.
Yeah.
It's telling your students do this, then do that, then do that. You cannot take chemistry class. You will have to take science class.
Sorry, I didn't see your message, Derek. Do they still have recess? Let's assume they have recess.
Oh yeah,
So
do they have recess?
let for the sake of
Yeah,
let's
but they have 10 seconds to put on their stuff and they have 15 seconds to get out. Or else they're locked in the school until the rest of the day.
okay, yeah, it's probably not that strict, but yes. Okay. Let's
I can't find any like ethical parts to it. It's just wrong.
It teaches them that every second counts, literally.
Yeah. It
okay.
teaches them that time matters.
Okay, I'm
Like
just gonna
times 10
read
though, because if they have
yours.
like a test and like you have 30 seconds to complete this test or else you get an F, then there's like sweat rolling down
Okay, I'm gonna read yours and just edit it because we're short on time. Jeffrey says structured learning isn't inherently bad, but it has many cons. There is little to no creativity, a lack of flexibility, and it takes away from freedom. Like, you know, you have to put capital. It limits critical thinking, which makes people unable to think outside the box and uh, unable to think out of the box and of innovative ideas. Think. Um, let's rearrange this. Think of innovative ideas and outside outside the box. Okay. Just because it was a little awkward the other way around. Good stuff, Jeffrey. Start with Russell's, then let's go to Derek's. Okay, Russell, would you like to read yours?
I believe that the only effective part in this new schooling model is that students are now never going to be slacking off or sleeping in the back of the class. This teaches them that every second counts, literally. The extreme downside is that the teachers give the students no flexibility in owning your learning or choosing your path to success, and it limits metacognition.
Awesome. Also, I just realized I said I
I
would.
just need to finish this.
Sorry. Um, I realized I said I was going to read it, and I just told Russell to read his. But sorry about that, Jeffrey. Then, um, um, I mean, we would not need this. This, the extreme downside is that the teachers give us. So I would say instead of and, which, just because that is essentially what you're saying as well. Okay. Copying and pasting can sometimes be difficult on Zoom. Okay, 1 second. Oh gosh. Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna read. Sorry. Some parts of the school district's new model of the district's new model are beneficial. Students don't have the opportunity to talk with each other in between classes. Right. Also, the article mentioned above, the average D's and F's decreased by a large majority. But if you have students who don't have time to digest information given to them, most of them won't have time to fully understand the information. Oh, digest information. Um, let's do Just get rid of that. Also teaching children the concept that if they don't finish a quiz in 10 minutes, they'll have a bad grade, can put a ton of stress, can put a ton of stress on them. Or you could say it can put them on a stress binge or something like that. Put a ton of stress on them, which isn't healthy to some mental health. I don't think it's stress. I mean, because you called it stress, stress is never healthy, really. Um, okay, wait, no, not stress. I guess I'm talking about excessive stress. Being pressured is not okay. We'll just leave it like this, which isn't healthy to some's mental health and may lead to some disastrous consequences. Cool. Um, okay. Good stuff, Derek. Let's go to Jaya. All right, Jaya. I think that the new strict schooling model is unethical in general, but might hold some ethical points. Okay, so this is not a full sentence on its own, so this needs to be comma. But for example, in the part where they said that there are no books at school and there is no library as well, really, that there are no books at school, no books, okay, or a library at school. Really shocked me. This is because they are basically pulling students away from a major academic path to success. They also control the entire class by telling them to do this and to do that. These actions prevent them from independently choosing their own paths in order to succeed. The only good thing is that it teaches them to have good time management. Great. You did add a positive. Awesome. Okay. Great work, guys. That is going to be it for today. Here's the homework question. I know we've asked similar questions to this before, but I mean, it's a good question. So, okay, that is all for today, guys. Let me throw this link in the chat, actually. Anyone can view this. Okay, that's the link. I will see you all next week. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.